There's a lot of green space around, but public green space. People don't always realise that there are other private green spaces in and around the city, and that's quite often up on the roof. My name is James Smith. I'm a landscape architect and garden designer. I've been designing gardens for the last 16 years. It's my first time at Chelsea this year designing a small balcony garden. I designed this rooftop garden in the centre of London. This garden was designed as a private residential space away from the busy city below. It's a minimal garden designed to have an area for relaxation, for entertaining, and just to enjoy the views that the city has to offer. There are lots of things that need to be considered when you're planning a roof garden. They're quite extreme environments. The microclimate on a roof terrace is a lot different to your normal garden. So you have extremes of wind, of rain and of sun, so plants have to be resilient to that kind of conditions. On the roof garden here we've got agapanthus. Agapanthus is a good plant to use in a roof terrace environment, up against the building slightly as well, so it gives a bit more protection from winds and stops them from getting battered about too much. At Chelsea this year I've designed a small balcony garden. It's only 5 by 2 metres. In my garden there are a number of key elements that make up the design, so I've cloaked the whole of the terrace floor of the balcony in planting, something that's a little bit unusual for that type of space, and I'm looking also to entice the senses by having elements of sculpture, feature pots and subtle lighting as well. This building in the city has a very special roof garden designed for nature and biodiversity. It even has its own ecologist, Mark Patterson, who oversees the site. Wow, what an amazing roof garden! Fantastic space for biodiversity.
This is it's an 11-floor green roof. It was installed about 12 years ago. There's seed and carpet, and over the years, about 70 species of flowering plant have sort of self-colonised the roof. And in addition to the things that have spontaneously colonised the roof themselves and assisted, we've been plug planting the roof and seeding the roof with a range of wildflowers to create more nectar and pollen for pollinating insects. For
my own garden at Chelsea, I'm just looking to use some quite green roof tolerant plants. I've looked at weeding some sedums in amongst some of the planting, but I was just wondering what you suggest for other perennials perhaps that I could use within the garden.
If you've got deep enough soil, Eryngium sea hollies, they've really thrived up here, and they're really good at drawing in the smaller saltry bees, the Lassiglossum and the yellow-faced bee. This is Synthine. This is a perennial wildflower, member of the pea family, and this has done really well in the roof. It's thrived in the dry conditions. It naturally grows in dry habitats with thin soils, but it's very drought tolerant, and it's also a superfood for bees, so it's really popular with bumblebees and also with the honeybees.
The roof garden on top of the building is amazing, and lots of inspiration for my own garden with regards to nature and increasing biodiversity. But further down the building, on another level, there's actually another really interesting space that I'd like to go and have a look at. So I'm looking to use some nice scented plants within the balcony garden just to help with the senses and have that lovely feeling when you go into the garden, you brush past something that's highly scented. It's a great planting combination to have a look at here as well. We've got the Erigeron, Mexican fleabane is the common name. It's a lovely, cheerful plant and does great in extreme conditions. Grows in little crevices and billows out over the side of planters as well. So I'm hoping to use that within my garden. Also, plants like lavender are also great. A Mediterranean style of planting, and everybody loves the smell of lavender as far as I know. Gardens would be great for wildlife. Lots of benefits for ecology, nature, bringing in pollinators into the space. But they also have to work well for the individual as well. And I'm really trying with the balcony garden to improve people's mental health and well-being. And the balcony, although small, it hopefully demonstrates that anything is possible, even in the tightest of spaces.
And here I am on the finished garden